William from Sumter, South Carolina. He said, why does Florida State get treated differently than Colorado for using the transfer portal very similarly? Ole Miss as well. Well, I do agree that Colorado gets viewed differently. I do agree that people talk about him differently, but I don't think it's for the reasons that you said there, William. I think it's because it's been differently. You know, Florida State, just to give you an idea, Florida State under Mike Norvell, they came in there, and yes, they did lean on the portal pretty heavily, but they didn't lean on it to build their team. They leaned on it to supplement at the outset, but all the while, Mike Norvell has preached high school recruiting, high school recruiting, high school recruiting, and that's now what they've started to lean on a little bit more. Colorado and Deion have never preached that. Yeah, I've almost referred to Colorado as a grand experiment more so than a program, because a program I think about as being built on high school recruiting. You know, like if Brett McMurphy's writing about you out there, and I say that because we're in the shadow of him right now, and he's talking about your program, he's probably not talking about guys you got from the portal. He's talking about guys that you got from high school, and maybe they disappeared for 2 years, and all of a sudden now they've redshirted and they're ready to go. Well, that's not how Colorado's been built. That's not how Deion ever set out to build it. That is how they set out to build it at Florida State. That's how they even set out to build it at Ole Miss. They used the portal heavily, but just to give you an idea of the gulf between those two concepts, the 2023 and 24 cycles, Colorado took 94 kids out of the portal. Ole Miss took 47. FSU took 29. To take it a step further, in the 2023 portal cycle, Colorado took 52 kids. That is more than the second, third, and fourth teams combined took. So there is no comparison, to be clear, with what Deion's been doing versus what Florida State or Ole Miss have been doing. That's the first part. The second part is I think it makes people uncomfortable, and therefore they look for a default reason to criticize Deion Sanders. I also think maybe Deion Sanders' personality just makes him prone to folks wanting to criticize him. I think that maybe if a guy who was buddy and did every talk show out there and returned every text message and made himself available to everyone were to take this approach, I think folks would view it differently. Some of the same ones who criticized Deion Sanders would probably praise whoever else was doing it as a maverick and as a visionary, and nothing would be different about it. There are a lot of folks who are really, really petty in this business. If you got reasons for disliking Deion or not being about what they're about at Colorado, I don't really care. That's fine. Everyone's got an opinion. But if I look at it, and you're asking me, is there bias against Colorado with how people talk about them portaling versus how folks talk about FSU and Ole Miss? No, it could be that you have my mentality. It could be that you just really believe that ultimate sustainability has to be built through high school recruiting, and you've never seen anyone try and do what Colorado's doing. Therefore, you may not have great confidence that it's going to work. That has nothing to do with hating on Deion. Quite the opposite. Love Deion Sanders. Love everything he does for the sport. Love what he's about. I got no problem with any of that. It's just a philosophical thing with me. I'm happy to watch him try and prove it wrong, by the way. But that would be the first time that we've ever seen it. So if someone's got doubts about it, I don't think it has to be bias. I think you're just, in a commonsensical standpoint, looking and saying, yeah, this is way different than even the next most radical approach is.